Okay, go.
Hi again. It's me, Sarah.
I'm Christy.
We're from What Happens on the Backstreet. We've got to start nailing that.
Oh my God, we're back again.
Oh yeah, maybe that's how we
Didn't
should start.
think we would be.
How original. Yeah. What are we doing? We still don't know what we're doing. Episode 2, and we're still confused. But
Yes.
who's not right now?
Seriously.
Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling.
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh, it's because I have these in and I can't.
I know. I feel the same way with the headphones.
Yeah, I took one out and it sounds better. You should try that.
Oh,
Anyway,
maybe I will.
Here we are with no updates. It's only been a week since our last episode, and as everybody knows, Backstreet's not that. They're not doing anything. The end.
But we are.
And that's the end of the episode.
Okay, bye.
No. I think the only thing that we didn't talk about last time that we meant to talk about was AJ's TikTok. He's churning out some content. Did you get a chance to listen to any of that?
I did. And since I'm a grandma, it was my first time on TikTok. And I have no idea what it is or how to use it, but I follow AJ. He's my one person that I follow as of now. And I saw some things and I like it. I like the content.
Jeez. All right, Grandma. Well, I don't know if we talked about this, but a few weeks ago, Nick and Lance were both doing TikTok. They were commenting on people's Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC videos and hashtagging boy band wars. So I don't know if that's playing into what they were doing. Whatever secret project they have coming up or not, or if that's just something they were doing for fun. But they were going back and forth in people's comments about who's better, Backstreet or NSYNC. I don't know. But it seems to have died down now. I don't know if that is still a thing that's happening or if I'm just not in on the TikTok trend or what. But AJ's turning out his own content that's really good.
I like that video that I saw with him singing with a new band.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
Not the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, the I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yes.
One. Yes, yeah. Gosh, so good. And it really makes me want him to do something successful that's solo because his voice is so good.
I love AJ's voice.
I know.
He's probably has my favorite voice out of all of them.
Yeah, and I think I don't care if he's like at the bottom of your list in terms of quote unquote favorite members. He's just got a voice that's like,
oh my gosh, his voice is so good.
My God, it's so good. Yeah, so he also, if you're an AJ girl and you haven't checked it out, you need to look at his silhouette challenge because wow, that's hot. And I'm not even an AJ girl.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
so basically the silhouette challenge is like you look like frumpy and then the music turns to like a sexier version of the song and it's very you like go from like frumpy to hot is like the basics behind it. But wow.
Does he have videos like that? Because I should watch them.
He did the challenge.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't see that one. I saw other ones.
You need to come back next episode with your review.
I will. You know who I think should do one?
Oh my God, Nick. Yeah, but like if Nick does he's gonna have like 2 babies hanging off of him, and I feel like
throwing pancakes in the air.
Yeah, he's throwing pancakes in diapers, and like you can only like Nick. I don't know. He's holding it down with the crab rave. So that's what he's doing.
Hot.
Yeah, it's so hot.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, they're the only ones on TikTok. I think Brian is still on Snapchat. I've seen some things there.
Now that's something I haven't used in a while.
Yeah, me either. I'm not on Snapchat. My other best friend is, so she lets me know if anything's going on. I think last I saw Leanne was like rating Uber drivers or something. Yes, we're done talking. Anyway,
moving on.
So yeah, there's not really any other updates about what is happening on the Backstreet. There's some rumors about a Christmas album, of course, still, but we'll believe it when we see it.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
What?
Or should I say, Sarah, do you know what I was going to say? I have this thing of always asking a question, so it's just funny.
I can't wait until we're deep into this podcast and we can go back and be like, Christy, can you count how many times you said, you know what I just realized? Or you know what I was going to say?
So what I was going to say was, I have some friends who are O-Town fans.
Yeah.
And O-Town is doing some pretty cool stuff that I think Backstreet Boys can take some hints from if they were interested in doing anything.
Yeah.
They're doing virtual concerts, like live streaming, and they're doing virtual meet and greets and virtual Q&As.
Yeah.
And I know O-Town is a different,
right, and they have
caliber or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But I just thought like that was cool that they were doing some stuff, and I was like, oh, I could definitely see Backstreet Boys doing that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think people would like that if they have any desire to do that.
Right. I think the problem with Backstreet is that there's a lot of international fans, and that the timing is what the problem is. But like Nick did Twitch, and he was doing different times for fans, and I like even just one of them were involved, kind of thing.
Right. Like just to do something.
Right. I know that O-Town also had like a virtual after party where they were there, but also a bunch of fans were. And I feel like that's a really good opportunity for fans to see each other. Like we haven't seen each other.
Yeah,
with
for
them.
sure.
So, and
and you know what else I was gonna say? No, so their meet and greets are not on Looped. Now, I don't know the logistics of any of this. I'm just regurgitating information here. But they have their meet and greets on Zoom.
Yeah.
And you can invite somebody that you want to be on with you if that's your thing. Like we would be able to do it together, and that'd be super fun.
Yeah,
because we're not like in person together, and I don't think Looped offers that option.
No, it doesn't seem like it. And we had talked about before, and I'm sure that we're not the only ones that want to do like a meet and greet together, but we can't because we're not, like you said, physically together. But I know so many of us are like missing each other and missing them, and like it would be really nice if we had an option. Even if they just auctioned off one, like I think that would be such a cool like thing to do. Obviously they're all doing different things, agree. But I'm hoping like if they do record a Christmas album and they get back in the studio together and they are together and they have work time, that they start like doing different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I have another thing to say.
What? You're just full of information today.
Cons are coming back. And I think Nick should go to one. The end. I don't care where it is. I'll go.
Yeah. I have seen a lot of different conventions. And for people that don't know, Nick and AJ and Howie started doing conventions, like Comic Cons and different things, right after Dead 7, I guess. And I think the last one they went to, Nick went to German Con, in 2019 in December. And that was the last one he went to, but they were doing them consistently through 2019, I feel like. And it's
they're so fun.
Yeah, it's a really good way if you like Nick or AJ or Howie to really get some one-on-one time that you don't necessarily get with VIP experiences.
They're really like laid back, and
right. And not everybody's obviously is the same. Not everybody's experience, but I haven't heard of anybody that really have a bad experience. You know, I know that we've had some of the best experiences, and like it's just a good time, and like there is so much downtime in between too that you do get a lot of time with your friends, you know. So I feel like it's just like generally a good time.
And also if you like that kind of stuff, like actual Comic-Cons and those, and even like they're not all like sci-fi stuff. There's some like they're starting to do like more 90s people from 90s movies, like Jason Priestley.
I was about to say, Christy and I went to one in Louisville and we met Jason Priestley because he happened to be right next to Nick. Really nice guy, really very cute still. Not aged at all.
Oh man.
I was gonna say something to that effect too, and now I don't remember. But if they do start going back to do things like that, I'm hoping that they still, I mean, obviously Nick's busy right now with babies and whatnot, but willing to travel, you know. But I've seen how they're doing them now. They're like, you know, obviously you have to wear a mask. And it seems like with the photo ops, there's like plexiglass in between them at some point. Like, I don't know if that's for every con or what, but they seem to be taking safety measures for anyone concerned about that. And I do feel like it's easier to do than a concert, right? Because you're not like in a designated seat and you can social distance in a line and things like that. So I do feel like it's a good option for people that want to do that. So we'll see.
So let's get on that.
Yeah. So everybody tweet Full Empire. Those are Nick's agents for the cons. I can't remember who AJ's is. It's Level Up, maybe? Something like that. They came
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I think that's it.
Yeah. But I'm hoping at the very least, that the Nick and Lance thing drops soon. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I'm just ready for new content. I think everybody is.
What's the next holiday? Last one was Valentine's Day. Oh, St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day?
Maybe by St. Patrick's Day, there will be things.
What, are you talking about him dropping a new single?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Because everything was by Valentine's Day the last time, and nothing really happened.
Maybe
by St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, yeah. Maybe we'll get some green pancakes. I don't know. Anyway,
those sound fun.
I think our topic for today, because we don't have any updates, we were going to talk about the evolution of the fangirl. And what spurred this, the other day I was watching MTV and the BTS special came on, and they're doing like, I think it was an acoustic show. It's kind of like storytellers. But I was like, oh, I miss when the Backstreet Boys did things like this, but it's still like the same feeling, you know? Like when you go in the supermarket and you see like magazines and you still look for them. I feel like it's something that's so ingrained in your like being once you're a fan.
Yeah.
I would hate to live in a time where you're not, like there's no boy band to like, you know what I mean?
I know. It's so fun. And people who like don't understand what we do,
Yeah.
Who we are.
But you really can't explain it unless you've like grown up in it and built your life around it. I know I was working on a blog post that was, it's like things that you only know if you're like an OG Backstreet Boys fan. And the first thing I thought of was like, you know how you rushed home and like you turned on the TV to watch TRL's Countdown. And I know for you living where you live, it was more accessible. Like weren't you in the audience for a TRL?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
you were when they
I
did
was. But oh yes, for the finale of TRL, like the whole series finale, I was there,
yeah.
like sitting behind them. But no, I never got to go when I was younger because I think like my parents wouldn't take me. um, I think like it was just like, oh, well, you're not gonna get to see them anyway. It was like back in the day, like when
Yeah.
like you literally couldn't even get near the studio to watch them
Right.
through the window across the street. Like you would literally have to be down the street where you wouldn't even see them anyway. And my dad's like, yeah, no, I'm not
Right.
taking you there.
It's so funny because watching it on TV, like obviously I hadn't been to New York, and they were like, "Oh, they shut down Times Square," and I'm like, "And," but now like
Yeah,
having been there, like that's crazy. But it's
it's
so
crazy.
funny because I'm like, oh, people don't do that now. Like fans don't do that. But then you have bands like BTS where these fans are like wild and they're supporting them online and raising money and doing this and that. Um, so I guess it's like the same but virtual now, you know?
Yeah.
But it's so funny, like you said, like your parents are like, oh, you're not gonna get to see them anyway. How funny is it that we forget that so fast? Like we forget those moments so fast when we're talking about like meet and greet today. Like
Uh-huh.
now we're
I
like,
know.
oh, we want meet and greet with this concert. If we don't go to this like if we're going to this concert, then we want meet and greet. But like think like I always am like reminding people like we never even had like this was not even possible when we were
No,
kids.
you couldn't even get, like I said, you couldn't even get if I said like, okay, I'm going into New York City and like going there, like you couldn't even get like near the street to see them far away through a window. Like
Right,
for them to
right.
wave at you. And like for
Yeah,
concerts, like it was impossible to get tickets. I'm talking like Millennium Tour era.
right.
That's what the first thing that comes to my mind. Like you couldn't even get tickets to go see them. Also, I was in fourth grade, so I didn't, and it was like
Same.
when AOL like just started, I
Right.
feel like. So like I didn't even know anything about how to get tickets at all. So it was like impossible to get tickets. And then once you got tickets, you were like, oh my God, I'm so happy I'm in the same room as them, like
Right.
breathing the same
Right.
air.
Right.
That was the exciting part. Then it was like, it grew over the years as they became more accessible and you got older and were able to do things yourself and go to shows yourself. And it wasn't your parents saying, no, I'm not
Right.
driving you here, I'm not driving you there, or
Right.
whatever. So yeah, but no, it's very humbling thinking back and being like, wow, we used to just be so excited just to be able to like see them in person at all. And I
Yeah.
know, and I said this last week, but we are very lucky even now to get to have the experiences that we get to have, because I know some people, especially like international fans sometimes and things like that, don't get to have everything, all the
Yeah.
experiences that we are fortunate enough to have. So it is
Right.
something to look back on and be like, wow.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it happened. I feel like it happened so fast but so slow that like you didn't realize that it was evolving as it evolved. I feel like we were lucky enough to be coming of age when they kind of like
Yes,
started VIP
you're
and
right.
like loosened those restrictions.
Yep.
Because I mean, like what we were 18, 19 when Unbreakable and This Is Us came out, and that's when they kind of started doing it, you know.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. It's so funny because I feel like we've kind of like all grown together, and I know that's cliche, and I know we've said it, like talked about it jokingly, but like I don't know. It's just crazy when you think about it, and like you think about like I know I had written a blog post once about like things you did as a Backstreet Boys fan when you were in school. And you know how like at recess you were like, oh no, he's my favorite. And you all had to have separate
Oh yeah,
favorites.
everybody was somebody. Like
Yeah.
not only favorites, like you were them, like in
Right.
your friends group. Like
Right. Right. Like you were married to
Who
them.
fought
I
over
remember,
who was going to be Nick?
right. I remember we all went to like icing and Claire's and bought wedding rings because that's who we were married to. We were married to whichever Backstreet Boy.
I
And
thought
like
you were going to say the tattoo chokers.
no, we definitely did that.
Those two.
I was thinking the other day, remember when Spencer's used to sell Backstreet Boy stuff?
Yes.
And now it's all like X-rated things.
Yeah. On the topic of merch, the thing that came to my mind was like wearing Backstreet Boys shirts everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, because like if you went, I mean, we still do this, but like
Right.
in a different way. Like if you go to a concert or whatever and buy merch, you still like wear it everywhere. But I just remember like going to school, it was like my birthday and I got all these shirts for my birthday, like Backstreet Boys shirts,
Yeah.
or anytime I went to a concert, it was like always like the next day I was wearing my shirt to school. And I feel like I was the only one. Like, I don't know if anybody else even liked them. I was like, probably like, I mean, everybody did because it was like the 90s and 2000s, but I feel like at the same time, like, I was the only like hardcore freak wearing Backstreet Boys shirts every day in 5th grade. And like, here we are.
It's so
today.
funny because you say that you're like, yeah, right. I wear their stuff more now, I feel like, than I did when I was a kid. But I think it was the fact that like they came up there a lot more. And they were a lot more popular in the Northeast, I feel like, than the Southeast, which is weird since most of them are from the Southeast.
Right. But, well, New York is just crazy to begin with.
Yeah. But I feel like if you found a Backstreet Boys whatever here, I like wanted to like treasure it. Like I wanted to like put it in the corner and not wear it and like not stain it and not touch it. I feel like that's just me as a person though.
No, that was not how I was. I feel like I'm like that now.
Yeah, what, like not touching it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm like, I don't want to overwear that shirt because I might want to like make a blanket out of it in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. But like then we came off the cruise like wearing every piece of merch that we bought from the cruise.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just so wild to me. And it's so wild because I really think about it now because everybody's kind of losing their minds with no concerts. I mean, tour is coming up, but is tour really going to happen, you know? But
right.
Like, think about everything we've been through already. And so like, what's another
Think about how we never even got to see them.
Right.
In the first place.
Yeah. And I feel like we've been so lucky because I feel like if we told our 4th grade selves like everything that's transpired since you know 98 99 like nobody would believe it, you know.
Well, oh totally. And like what was that? I'm gonna completely embarrass myself right now, but what else are we here for? That I found a piece of my journal from like 4th grade or something. Yes, remember? It was like last year, and it was like, please God. It was like, let me meet Nick Carter and be front row or something like that. Like that was literally all I talked about in 4th grade. Like everything revolved around that. Every school project, everything I ever talked about revolved around the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And here we are. Here we are still talking about them. But no, so yes, that was all I wanted in 4th grade. And here we are multiple times later. And so it's just funny to look back and think how lucky we are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I know that they talk about like as a group, like, oh yeah, like it's so crazy that we started in high schools and like now we're like this and that and the other. But like it's so crazy how we as fans all started out, you know? And now
Yes,
it's like,
and what I was
good.
gonna say was that I was on YouTube yesterday, and something about their Millennium, the Into the Millennium Tour concert popped up, the video of it, and I put it on, and I was like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
they were so little, and like, and that was when we were in like fourth grade, I think,
Right.
and like, just it was just crazy how, like, I was just thinking back to that like time, and just like how things were so different back then.
Yeah.
And it was just
Yeah.
like so weird to see how like young they were and talk about growing together. Like
Right.
now we're kind of like at the same, we were at like different stages then, because like
Yeah.
we were in fourth grade and they were what, like 20 something? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do the
Yeah.
math right now. But now it's like we're all like adults, and like I
Right.
have a kid now, and it's like they have kids. We're kind of like at the same like life stages.
Like we all leveled
Yeah,
out.
we leveled out.
Yeah. It's like nobody's age matters anymore because now we're all in the
Yeah,
same kind of whatever. But
we're
that's what I
all
don't
grown.
understand. Right. But that's what I don't understand when we don't act grown. Because there are like
Sure we do.
but I mean we've obviously been guilty of it sometimes where we're like, I can't believe blah blah blah. But like we're all human. And I feel like I just don't understand. I'm veering off a little bit, but I don't understand why, like, we like you said, we all have like not all of us have kids, but if we don't have kids, our friends have kids, we have careers, we have this, we have that. So we all understand where this comes from. So I don't understand why we don't allow the Backstreet Boys themselves a little bit more grace. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't understand why we are constantly like, why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? When I feel like they do try at some point. I mean, but like, we could all do better, right?
Yes.
But we're not.
Agreed.
We are 90s girls. I feel like you gain so many skills from being a 90s fangirl. And I feel like you definitely know like dedication and the power of dating and and like how to stay on your feet and how to wait longer than anybody in the world. But I don't understand. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We need to grow up. But in terms of like, we need to be more understanding. People that are listening to this know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
But in the same sense, like, when I say we have to grow up, I feel like, yeah, we want to be treated. People have problems with the way, like, oh, the Backstreet Boys do this, and they need to interact with fans, and this, that, and the other. But we've got to start acting like adults that deserve it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because we all know that we're adults and they're adults, and we kind of are at that, like, we're not in fourth grade anymore. Like, we're not looking up to them like, oh my God, they're untouchable. They're like, so up here. Like, we are on the same level as them. We're adults, and we just are fans of theirs, and we love their music, and we love to experience their events together with our friends. And so that is the level that we are on. And same with them. Like, they're not looking at us like we're fourth graders anymore. Like, like they want to have a relationship with us just like we want to have a relationship with them.
Right.
a mutual respectful relationship, understanding like where we are.
Right.
And so I think that if we want respect, we need to treat them with respect and vice versa.
Right. I've always said it's like we like they're here and we're here and like we keep trying to level out and it's like we're just missing each other. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's like we're like getting in a good direction and then we just like keep like it's just something happens. Do you think, question for you, do you think
Yes.
that if
You're gonna
they
put me on the spot now?
no, if they weren't so managed, like in the 90s, like you couldn't have a girlfriend, you couldn't talk about this, you couldn't
Right.
talk about tattoos, you couldn't cuss. Do you think that if they hadn't been so managed, if they had been like in control of their own whatever from the jump, that it would be different now?
Um, I don't know if that would have affected them now. I mean, listen, everybody's past affects them in some way.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're pretty good now about like taking control of their own
Yeah.
lives. And I feel like if they want to do something, they'll do it. If they don't want to do something, they won't. However, I do notice that they might not necessarily know what fans want
Right.
and things like that. And I feel like if like a couple of people come out and say what they want, it may or may not reflect what everybody as a whole
Right.
wants, and it might not be portrayed in the way that the whole wants it to be portrayed, and then they might get wrong information or information that's taken out of context, and then there might not be like a true mutual understanding between them
Right.
and fans. And so then I feel like that's a big issue that gets which is why there's like a misunderstanding at some points. And I feel like both sides try,
Yeah.
and sometimes there is an understanding and sometimes there's not. And I think that's like one of the main issues that I've seen because of their current management. Not that their current management is an issue. That's not what I'm
Right.
saying. What I'm
No.
saying is like they don't see everything that we're seeing, and we don't
Right.
know everything that's going on their end. And I mean, listen, we don't necessarily have to know everything and they don't have to know everything, but that's my point, is that that's what can lead to some sort of misunderstanding, and maybe things would be different
Right.
if
And
there was.
that's the thing too. I
That's it.
think that like I think fans I think because we were so like, they would come to the window and wave for so long and that's the only interaction you can get. I think that when we started getting social media and we could talk to them directly and we got meet and greets and we could talk to them directly, I think now sometimes that doesn't work in like 90s fangirl favor. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we are under the impression, because we were so far for so long and then we got this immediate access. I think sometimes fans are under the impression that they do see more than they see, or why don't you do anything about this because I'm telling you about it. Well,
Right.
it's not as simple as just snapping your fingers. Like, I don't think
Right.
that with the connection of social media and VIP and whatever has to come an understanding that they're still human. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we put them on a pedestal for so long because they were so untouchable that it's hard for some people to consistently remember that like they are human.
Yeah. And I just want to mention something that I've said before, obviously not on this podcast or whatever this is, but just in the past. And
Whatever this is.
and since we've gotten we're kind of still on topic, but now this is kind of off topic, but I don't care.
Yeah, what are we doing?
we're just letting the conversation
go with the flow,
flow where it may.
Okay,
this is totally unscripted, obviously. So anyway, what I was gonna say was, make another tally that I said that. Is that I've suggested in the past that the Backstreet Boys do a town hall with fans.
Yes.
And New Kids on the Block does this, by the way. And
yeah, I had written a blog about this a while ago.
Yes, I remember that actually. And I love New Kids on the Block too. And they are so great with their fans. And they really try their best, Donnie especially, of course, try their best to understand like what fans want. Because ultimately, like, we're the customers is what it boils down to.
According to Howie.
I forgot
we gotta keep
thanks,
Howie.
Say it how it is. So I just thought that would be something that might be a good idea in the future, because basically what happens is, I mean, they've done this on the cruise before, but they've done it, New Kids I'm talking about, have done it on their cruises before, and also in other areas where there's like a lot of fans. And it's basically like a Q&A, and people just get to voice their suggestions directly to them, and any questions they have, and things like that. And it's a really good way to like talk directly to them about if there are any like issues that are happening, or things they want to see, or suggestions. Because like I said, sometimes I feel like there's a disconnect on either end with that kind of stuff. But I just think that would be a good idea, and I feel like it's worth mentioning.
Yeah,
again.
I think it's a good idea if everybody can be civil. And everybody can...
I think they would, because if it's to their face, what are they gonna do? Act a fool?
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of things that are going on right now that would prevent them from doing that. Because there's things that they're just not going to talk about. But I think the leveling out has to happen.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. That
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Seeing what you know what I mean. But I have always thought that would be a good idea. But I think that we're going to, like, we both kind of have to prove ourselves, right? Like, fans are going to have to, like, prove that we can all act like adults and civil and have good suggestions. And the Backstreet Boys are going to have to act like they want to hear it.
They care.
Because how many surveys have we gotten and we're like, oh, whatever happened to that? You know what I mean? Like that wine survey they sent out. And I get it. I get that, like, you need to know for marketing purposes, but there's so many things that just like fall into the voice that like never happen. Like there's probably a big void somewhere in the universe with like the Backstreet wine and tequila and like a Christmas album and like 10 of AJ's solo records. I don't know.
I do have to say that one instance, I mean, they have listened to us in the past on certain things, and one instance I can think of that was a very successful turnout was the acoustic concert on the cruise 2018. Oh no, not 2018, 2016, right? The European cruise. And it was so good. For those of you who may not know or remember, I think they asked what kind of concert we wanted. or something like that, or what songs they wanted to hear.
It was just an overwhelming request for an acoustic concert. Then they asked what songs you wanted to hear.
Yes, they asked what songs, and they played songs that like we've like never heard live, and it was just amazing, and everybody was crying the whole entire time, and it was the best thing ever because they listened to us.
Do you have video of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
do I have video of that?
While we're here, if you're watching this, you're already on our YouTube channel. So if you're not, head to our YouTube channel. It's
I didn't upload them yet, but I will.
Yeah, YouTube.
I'm only up to 2014 right now of all the videos that I own, but they're coming.
Yeah. She's a video monger. But it's YouTube / I think C/WHOTB. But it's also on our website. I have a page just for the YouTube channel. And we're uploading all of the videos that we have from our personal experiences. So the acoustic performances will be uploaded at some point. So keep watching for that. I know a lot of people too are very interested in your iHeart album release party.
The album release party?
Yeah, because they were supposed to release videos from that and they never did. So I know a lot of people are excited. Yeah, a lot of people are excited to see those.
Yeah, I actually posted those. I unfortunately didn't really take too many because what happened was the sound, because it was being like live streamed.
Yeah.
I thought the sound was like not that great. You know how like when you go to I don't know if you've ever been to like a TV performance live, it like you can't hear it because they're broadcasting it out. So I felt like the sound was kind of like that. And then there was like this big, tall giraffe girl standing right in front of my face as usual. For those of you who don't know, I'm like barely 5 feet tall. I'm barely 5 feet tall. And no matter what, you know, platform shoes, it just doesn't matter. There is always a tall ass person blocking my entire view of the stage. So, you know what?
Bless your heart.
It just comes with the territory at this point. I'm used to it.
I think most people were interested in seeing videos to see themselves, to be honest. So they don't care about sound.
So yeah. So I did post those, the iHeart one. So I went like in chronological order up to 2014, and then I kind of started at the other end.
Yeah.
2000, what was that, 18 or something? I don't know.
I don't know. What
anyway, they're all coming eventually. 5,000 videos later.
Yeah, girl.
They'll be there.
Mine are like spread out on different computers, so I'm gonna have to look around. But I know I have really good ones from Nick's solo tour here.
Yeah. Did you take any from Nick and Knight? When like Jordan stepped on her fingers or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I moved the cord because he was about to trip off the stage. And then Nick
You saved his life.
Yeah, basically Nick slapped Andrea's hand on accident. Like we were so close.
Yeah, it must be nice in no barricade land.
One thing Chrissy and I talk about is that in New Jersey and New York, they have barricades in front of the stage. Well, in Nashville and small venues, they really don't. And so we were literally...
Because people aren't like, animals there?
Well, I mean, not necessarily. But we were like literally, my purse was resting on the stage for most of the concert. And...
You'd get yelled at that for that. You would get yelled
at
for that here. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk anymore. I'm done.
Okay, bye. Anyway, we were so close, obviously. And so Nick's like doing his thing and like performing, and me and my best friend are standing there watching him, like looking straight up, and like my neck hurt by the end of the concert because I was like looking straight up the whole time. But he like did his dance move or something, and her hand, like she had her hand in the air, and he like slapped the shit out of her hand and like he snaps out of performance mode so fast and looks down and is like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." So Nick bitch slapped my friend. Just kidding.
She's okay.
She's fine. She's fine.
I have to just because I can't keep looking at this screen without almost breaking out into laughter at my background, and I did that on purpose because it's just hysterical.
If you're listening
what
to audio,
inspired this? Oh yes.
Wait, if you're listening to audio, Christy has the 2018 Backstreet Boys cruise. What was it? Deck party? The sail away party.
Sail away party.
Yeah. When the
guys dress up as pirates.
So this whole time Kevin's like staring at me intimidatingly, and I'm
staring into your soul.
Yeah.
And I also picked this picture because Howie's holding champagne. And the champagne is like right there. Anyway, so I just randomly picked a shirt out of my closet today to do yoga in.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, never got to the yoga.
Yeah. Basically, you just want to go back to Miami. That's your problem.
So I just randomly picked the shirt. I'm like, okay, I'll throw it on. Anyway, I'm still in the shirt, and it's my Miami shirt. And it reminds me of the cruise because that's the last time I wore it, I think. And so I'm like, I'm going to make my background the cruise. And then I found this really funny picture. And here we are.
It looks like
it's hysterical. I think it's your picture, Sarah.
Like, what? Oh, it's mine. Yeah, I took it because I'm great.
Me and Kevin can be what? Like brother and sister?
Yeah, look at you guys.
Oh, just kidding. I'm probably young enough to be his daughter.
Oh my god.
That's weird.
Whatever. I like him. But I miss that as much as I was like, I'm getting smoked, I'm dying. I miss that party. I miss the family party. I miss the food.
I would give anything to be smushed and dying right now.
I really want to like do an episode about the cruise, but I'm like, don't want to make people sad.
Oh, what?
I don't want to be like, you know, how, like if one was coming up, it would be different, but I don't want to make people sad about like, oh, I'm sad, I'm gonna miss it.
I know.
Let us know if you want to hear about our cruise experiences.
Trust me, you do.
I'll tell you about the time I got a black eye from the wall.
Oh gosh.
Nick not getting sick because he's a boater.
If anybody was on that boat, you would know. Well, you wouldn't even know what happened because that cruise was like a lucid dream.
Yeah.
It was like the weirdest.
It was
most fun experience ever.
Yeah.
It was just, we just kept looking at each other, hysterically laughing, being like, what? Like,
yeah.
It was just like, what is even
I'm glad you talked me into
happening? Who was even saying what? It was the weird shit. Okay, that's another episode.
Yeah. So if you want to hear about it, let us know.
Because we could talk about it all day.
We still talk about it.
Because we've been talking about it for 3 years.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, like 90s fangirls are really good at, like holding on to shit forever.
Just reliving it every second.
Yeah, you know how like you're still like, remember in 2000 when I bought the Backstreet Boys Black and Blue album and I like laid out in the street in a trash bag for weeks because I wanted to be first in line. Yeah. Anyway, I just feel like,
and we're really good at pictures and videos and rewatching them also.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We're good documenters.
I just feel like there's so, like I said, there's so much to be like said for 90s fangirls. And
we're the best.
We're the best. And paving the way for what's happening now. But what they do now is really cool too. And I'm like, were we that cool? Like, were we that good at getting shit
No,
together?
we were not the cool. Didn't you see that video of the girl dancing to everybody or something, and she's like doing the dance moves in her like bell-bottom jeans. It's like
Yeah,
90s
we
fangirls,
were cool
teenagers
then.
now versus teenagers back then. Like we were not cool at all. I mean, teenagers now
Gay
are
people
cooler
now
than
are
we are
cool.
now.
I said they have their act together more. Like they're good at like making people come together. You know why? Because they're raised by 90s fangirls.
Exactly, girl.
Yeah, their moms. But also, like, what else do they have to do? I don't know, but I'm glad that we lived when we lived.
Me
And
too.
I'm glad we had. I would be sad if we didn't have anybody to compete against, like instinct. Like, what's even the fun of it if you don't? They fight with each other, though. I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. Things are weird.
That's another episode.
Things are weird. An episode. Anyway.
So,
I
anyway,
feel like we're getting to the end of this episode.
I think so. I think we've
really
exhausted.
We went in like so many different directions that I don't even know what to.
That's what you get for being unscripted. We're 100% real.
We're an unpodcast with no topics. We're just going down all the back streets. Get it?
We're hysterical.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
I bet nobody else thinks
so. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're doing this for fun, and if we can make somebody's day or relate to somebody in some way, then.
And if anybody wants to join us, let us know.
Yeah. Join us, submit questions, and let us know if you want shout outs or to remain anonymous.
Yeah. Why don't you guys tell us what we're doing?
That's a good idea.
Let's put this on everybody
We need
else.
management.
Right. Yeah. Maybe the Backstreet Boys had a good idea. Like, yeah. Who's gonna manage us?
Eddie. Somebody call Eddie. As Howie would say.
Give it up for Eddie. We don't know what he's doing here. That's another cruise thing. Guys, you really shouldn't hear us.
We're just rambling off inside jokes. Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about.
No, ooh. Ugh. Anyway. All right, that's it for the day. We gotta go.
Gotta go. We have to do our exit. What is that called? I keep
an outro.
Outro.
Bless.
That's it.
Okay, Grandma.
Okay.
You start.
XOXO.
Backstreet Girls. Bye.